You know I changed my life. I was in the trap OG, serving out white. Think about it day to day, day and night. Last night I had a drink, and it felt so right. In the trap was serving fiends. But work on triple B. Big 40 in my jeans.
Yes, sir. Yo. Hip hop me too.
Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Hoops. I'm your host, Anthony Igadero. I got my co-host with me, Mr. Woods is in the building.
What up? Let's go.
Listen, man, today we got a very special guest. We've been trying to get him on for a while.
For a hot minute, but he's a busy man, man.
Very busy guy. Mr. Rany Rozaay is in the building. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you guys, man.
Yo.
I appreciate you guys.
No, we appreciate you, brother. We know
Definitely.
you're busy.
Oh, man.
Love is love, brother. Love is love.
Man.
Yes.
I think right now we're all a little busy. There's
Yeah.
a lot happening. And
going
we're all
on.
trying to catch up or move things forward. So being able to spend the next little while engaging and sharing energy with you guys is going to
Yes.
be fun.
Let's
I
go,
think so.
man.
Let's
Mr. Mellow,
Do it.
man.
Let's do
The
it.
tone, man. Ladies. Relax.
Please, sir,
Just enjoy the peace, man. Let's do this.
Bro. Yo, listen, I want to know, because people don't know that you're a hooper, man. So I want you to tell them.
Gotta remind them just a bit.
You know,
Let them know
a
just
bit
a little
of
bit.
a bit of your basketball journey, where that love came from for you.
Absolutely. I grew up in Scarborough, Cataraqui.
You're a Scarborough guy?
Yeah.
He said.
I
Oh,
grew
the
up
whole
in
time I'm
Scarborough.
thinking you're Brampton.
Later,
Boy,
later,
if I had
later,
known
later,
this,
later,
man. No,
later,
joke,
later,
joke.
later. Nah, I grew up in
Let's go.
Scarborough. Gretchen Lucasa was someone that used to come to our courts and bust it up.
Okay.
I think one time he brought Tyler Murray and
Mm.
Alex Hill, and these guys were a couple years older than me. But like seeing those guys come to our courts and play,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I like this energy.
Yeah.
I like that everyone packed the gym. I liked all of it, and I wanted it.
Thanks.
Grew up idolizing MJ,
The GOAT.
watching him hit game winner and his final, exit out of the NBA, and I'm like, wow. Like that's why now I watch Last Dance at least once a week.
Mm.
I'll put it on while I'm eating, just to go back. But no, the love started there, and I think I was like 9. Someone's like, "Yo, you're good. Like you're really good." And I'm playing with like 16-year-olds, and I'm 9. I'm like, okay. And grew. I played with Cleveland Clunas and East Toronto basketball
Yes.
in Galloway.
Yes.
So that was my
Shout
first
out Coach
ever
Clunas,
team.
man.
Yeah.
Didn't know Galloway like that. I was just going to basketball practice and couldn't get a left-hand layup to save my life. It took me a long time to get that shit down. Played and eventually started getting into trouble because of the area that we lived in. And my mom's like, yo, you're going to have to live with your dad in Brampton.
Mm.
So that's when I made the move to Brampton. Because it was getting wild. Moved to Brampton and played for Brampton Raptors 1 year, and then the following year, we played Brampton Raptors again, and we won the Division II OBA Finals against Brampton Warriors.
Shout out Brampton Warriors.
Shout out Brampton Raptors.
Yeah,
Never heard of them. Like, but yo,
I never heard of
it.
him.
It was quick. We had a couple. Anthony Bennett played. That's where I met Anthony Bennett.
Okay, there you
On
go.
Brampton
AB.
Raptors.
Been
So
trying this.
hold on.
So
you
before-
met Anthony Bennett in Brampton because that's where he lived at, right?
So when I played Brampton Raptors, I was in grade
That's where he moved to.
8.
Uh-huh.
And then after that Brampton Raptors year, I played CIA Bounce
Okay,
for
so
the next 4 or 5 years.
So grade 8, grade 9, that's when you met Anthony.
I met Anthony when I was in grade 12.
12.
There you
Anthony
Okay.
was on Brampton Raptors because I had gone
And
back.
he lived there.
He lived in Brampton at that
for
point.
quite
Right.
So
some
I didn't
time.
know
For-
Jane and Finch.
for quite some
Anthony
time.
Bennett. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't know the
You
ties.
didn't know.
though.
I
You
didn't
didn't
know.
know. Okay, makes
I
But,
sense.
had
but
no
Anthony
idea.
Bentley
Makes
let you know the
sense.
ties
He
after a while.
introduced it to
Makes
me
a lot
as
of
time
sense.
went on.
There you go. That
So
makes
Anthony
perfect
Bennett,
sense.
Brampton's
Yes.
finest, not Finch's finest. Okay, it makes sense. Carry on, sir.
So I met
Carry on.
him when
Carry on.
I'm not a part of this. I don't know what this is. This is my first time here. I'm not a part of this. Met Anthony when he was like 13 and he came to a practice at Campion and dude dunked on somebody, blocked a shot, hit a tray ball and like did it with a smile.
Yup.
Who the hell
That doesn't
is
sound
this
too
kid?
Finch like.
That sounds
With a
like a Finch,
smile.
man. Of
Guys,
course, that's a.
That doesn't
Come
sound
on,
okay.
cut it out.
Let him carry on. Sorry. Go ahead.
We grow into Anthony grows. I go off to college. I went to Brandon University. I played for Keith
Brandon.
Vassell.
Yes.
Shout out Keith Vassell.
Legend,
Big time.
Legendary.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Real quick, got hurt going into that year. I had to sit. Coach is like, yo, don't worry about it. We're graduating 4 fifth-year guards.
Right.
So next year, the team is yours. Bad. I sat, took care of my body, got a job, worked in the school gym, took care of my classes. So coming into my second year, I need everything to be Gucci. Because if
Right.
I'm going to sit this year, let's get ready for year 2.
Right.
End of the year, coach gets fired. Vassell gets fired. New coach comes in and says, I don't want nobody. Everyone out. Transfer. My first transfer was U of T. U of T's like, all right, great. We want you. Coach loved me. My grades in grade 11, I took like a B. I had like a C or a B minus in English or something like that. And they're like, all right, Randy, because of this one grade, you could transfer, but you're going to have to come to, you're going to have to go to class in U of T, Mississauga, and then come downtown for practice and games. I'm not doing that. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So this is like 2 weeks before school starts. Called up my friend that played at Laurier. He said, yo, come over. Get to Laurier. As I get there, season starts. Coach like, yeah, we'll have you. I didn't really have time to get ready for the season. So my transition into that team was a little slow. I started catching my stride around November.
Mm-hmm.
The week I was supposed to play my first game at Laurier. So mind you, I missed my first season at Brandon. The week I'm supposed to play my first game at Laurier, Kofi Mensah dies. Kofi Mensah dies that week.
Yeah.
Like Thursday, the team's leaving to Sault Ste. Marie. I'm supposed to be getting on the bus. Coach is like, Randy, you're going to come off the bench and play 14 minutes. We'll see how you do. Kofi passes away like the Wednesday. I go back home, and I was home for like maybe 3 weeks. Came back to school. I could not focus. And at that time, like schools didn't have mental health resources.
Nope.
I'm sitting in class bawling my eyes out, and everyone's looking at me like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? And who am I talking to? My white coach?
Yeah.
Right? So coach is like, you know what, Randy, clearly you're not okay. So like practice, just sit this year. Coach, he's like, just trust me, sit. I sit, we go to the Final Four, OUA. Everyone's like, yo, Randy, if you played, we would have. If you played, I was like, all right, cool, no worry about it. That summer, coach was like, all right, who's staying, who's going home? I said, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna get a job at McDonald's. I'm gonna work, pick up some classes, focus. Right?
Yeah.
As athletes, we know to focus. We're
Yeah.
goal-driven people. So I set goals. That summer, got in the best shape of my life. Every morning, up, running, up, taking care of my body, getting shots up, doing everything that they tell you to do. And we have an open scrimmage, and they started this kid over me. I came off the bench for him. I was like, cool, no problem. Came off the bench and ended the game with like 24-6, right? Guys were going under screens for whatever reason.
Make them pay.
Every single time.
Yep.
And it felt great. Because I was like, cool, you doubted me. I'm gonna let you have these. These are for you.
Yeah.
Amazon. These are for you. Coach comes to me, hey, Randy, what? It's evident you've really worked on your game this summer. I was like, yeah, coach, I didn't even go to Carabana that summer. And being a Toronto kid and not going to Carabana, and I'm only in Waterloo. It's not like I'm in Montreal. I'm in Waterloo. Yeah. I didn't go.
Focused.
He's like, not the type of guard that we want.
Wow.
And I stood there and I looked at him and I said, went back to the locker room, bawled my eyes out. Now I'm looking at life like, yo, what's going on? I don't understand. 2K just came out, my player mode. I did that. Stopped going to class. I don't have practice. Started eating. I just worked so I could pay my rent. Did that for 2 months, just off. Didn't know who I was. Didn't know what I was doing. Completely just lost. Shortly after that, my best friend calls me, Christoph. Christoph's at Durham College. He's like, oh, come to Durham. I'm like, yo, Christoph, my parents are African. You know that, right? You want me to leave university to come to college?
Right. That ain't happening.
They don't know
They
what
don't do
that
that.
means.
They don't
No.
do that. Nope.
He's like, yo, I'm here. Yo, Rob Gagliardi's here. I said, Rob G?
Mm.
He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll come down for a weekend. I went down for a weekend. They gave me the time of my life.
There you go.
Took me to part. I felt like Ray Allen and
You got game?
He got game.
he got game,
Yup.
right? Took me to party. We went to hoop. Did all of that. I was like, yeah, I'm a transfer. Got my stuff. December, we were gonna play in the George Brown tournament. So because I was going university to college, I could play right away.
Right.
I went to hoop. I came and gave a man a simple in and out, and I felt something pop. I'm like, yo, what is that? I was like, yo, check up, guys. Tie up my shoes. Tried to cut. I was like, oh, no. I'm out. I fractured my 5th metatarsal on my left foot. So if this was your left foot,
yeah,
I fractured
all
right
that.
here. And like, yeah, I'm just like, what is this?
Mhm.
What am I doing wrong? Like, whose heart did I break? Did I steal? Like, asking myself
Those
all of
questions
these are
always pop up,
questions.
man.
Like, why
you think of
me?
all the girls.
All
and
the girls, like, yo.
karma, no.
Mm.
What did I do wrong? Or who did I do wrong?
Or what did I do wrong?
Right.
You don't you don't understand. And literally at that moment, just was like, yeah, F this.
That's it.
That's how I felt. And talking to, some of my young boys, I'm still in contact with Anthony Bennett,
Yeah.
Tyler, so on and so forth. Tyler hits me and says, yo, why don't you come back to Bounce? Come and coach. I haven't really played, but I've got experience. I've been in gyms.
Right.
Okay. Go back to gym, walk in, windmill, Wiggins, DeVivier, double pump, Xavier Rattan, step back tray. I'm like,
Oh.
what is this?
Different breed right here.
I'm like, this is not AAU that I played. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. So first tournament, we go to Milwaukee, and Wiggins played in Hoop Summit. He's supposed to meet us in Milwaukee. Wiggins is like, he's not gonna make it. Everyone just looks at X and he's like, all right, you're gonna have to lead us.
Oh shit.
He dropped 50.
Yup.
My first AAU game, I sat on the bench like I couldn't write fast enough. You had X.
X is a bucket.
You got
X is a
36.
Walking bucket.
He's like, that's it? All right. Back out there. And from that day on, I was like, I'm with this, because the role that I found for myself wasn't necessarily a coach. It was like a player manager.
Right.
I was like big bro, like
Yeah.
mentor. Like I was making sure guys were stretching. I offered to wash guys' jerseys
Mm-hmm.
because I said, yo, when you smell good, you feel good, and you play good.
Facts.
Facts.
And they're like, cool. And now I'm building relationships naturally. Fast forward, I spend that whole summer, with those kids. That was a special group, man. We
I
lost
think so.
we
Definitely.
lost to Aaron Gordon and Stanley Johnson and a couple other guys in the Peach Jam finals on some BS that was not a foul, but Canadian team's not supposed to win in an American
In
sport.
those big tournaments?
Losing that moment, I'll say that bus ride back to Augusta, or back to the Augusta airport to fly home, that bus ride was the quietest bus ride I'd ever been on,
Mm.
because it felt like that Laurier coach again taking away what was mine.
Mm.
That's what it felt like. And being in that car with those kids, I got my fire back. So I wanted to play. So after that summer with those kids, I actually played my last year at Durham.
Okay.
Played every single game, didn't miss a game. We lost first round of the playoffs, and I was cool. I think I led the country in 3-point field goal percentage, and had a game where I had 9 threes, and I got it on my system.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had my own farewell tour, and
Right.
was like, yo, I'm done.
Right.
A month later, Anthony's like, yo, I'm going to the league.
Just like that.
Boop, boop. Off this. So imagine all of that emotional, mental trauma, not understanding who I am, so on and so forth. And now my friend, he's like my little brother, is going to the L.
Yeah.
And I've seen it on TV because I just watched Tristan. go through this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know Tristan.
Right.
Anthony?
And at that point, Tristan was like the highest drafted
number
Canadian.
four.
At
At
number
four.
4. Right.
And number 4. Now,
Yeah.
knowing Anthony was going to get drafted, I took a step and I went and visited Tristan. I went to Cleveland and
Right.
spent like a week with him.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to understand like when he booked his massages. One thing that I'll say about Tristan Thompson is he is a professional basketball player. Takes care of his body.
Right.
He understands that is his vehicle to make money. So
I learned that from Braun.
Possibly.
he took care of his body. So I'm like, oh, okay. He has a chef. Walked in, he has a chef. Every time he walk in the house, food is done. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't want to have to think about food on the way home because we make bad choices,
Right.
right? What do we know to eat?
Grab
Pasta.
Mickey D's or grab something on the
Wendy's,
way.
right?
Wendy's. Yeah.
Okay, we need to bring someone to the house to come and do massages and look at Tristan's closet and like a lot of clothes. Shoot. Okay, we might have to get a stylist. What kind of car? Like I'm now trying to figure out how do I be the best version of me for Anthony
Right.
during this process, because that year when I went back to Durham, I kind of thought he might go that year. He might. I didn't know it was going to happen that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Quick.
It happened quick. And off we went and started working out, started getting shots up. He's like, yo, my shoulder hurts.
Mm.
I'm like, fam, what's up? Go find out he has to have shoulder surgery. Can't work out for no team. And you're supposed to be a lottery pick. Couldn't work out for any team. The other thing that I was worried about was summer league. You need summer league to transition
Right.
to the NBA. The game's faster. Guys are stronger. Coaching style is different. The ball is even different.
Mm.
You need that time. Anthony missed out on all of that. And Cleveland ultimately drafts him. And yeah.
Do you know why they drafted him then?
Because Anthony was the best player in that draft.
Damn right he was. I felt.
He was the best
Who
player
was in that draft?
Giannis. At that time,
Oladipo.
Oladipo, Cody Zeller,
Yo.
Michael Carter-Williams, CJ McCollum. Anthony was the best player in that draft, hands down. What Anthony did at UNLV,
For the 1 year.
For the 1 year.
Anthony is 6'6" and 3/4 tall, playing center.
Yo.
When he puts his hands up, it is equivalent to someone that is 6'10".
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 7'2" wingspan
With a jumper.
with a jumper.
Do you think he played the wrong position when he came out?
No.
Like was he?
I'll tell you, when Anthony came out, Anthony shouldn't have come out. Anthony should have sat till like January. He shouldn't have played.
You think he rushed it?
He didn't rush.
Or the league rushed it? He was number 1 pick.
He didn't rush it, is what I would say. He didn't rush it.
Yeah.
And when you're playing at the highest level and there's a lot of money on the table,
They're gonna tell
people
you.
draft. Like Anthony's, I think, rookie contract at that time, which was public knowledge, was like 5-point-something million.
Mhm.
Now it's at like 8, 9, or whatever it is, because the league's made so much money.
Right.
But at that, like, that's an investment from a city.
Right.
Your mayor's involved. You know what I'm saying? After Anthony got drafted, like, we went to the Ronald McDonald House of Ohio. Like,
Mm.
the city gets behind you. So there's pressure to play.
Right.
Oh, LeBron might be coming next year. All right, maybe Tristan's the 5, Anthony's the 4, Kyrie's the 1, Deion Waiters is the 2. Bron.
Imagine.
Oh, yeah, Anthony, you got to play. Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's a
Anthony
squad.
was not ready.
That's a squad.
That
was
would
not ready.
if they would have had a little more patience.
Anthony was not ready.
All right, thanks for the
Physically
insight,
was
but
not ready. I mean, and missing Summer League is crucial.
It's crucial.
It is.
Crucial. Blake Griffin missed Summer League and almost came back his first year and said, nah, you missed this part, just sit.
Sit out the whole year.
Just sit. And we
Something like Ben Simmons. I think
a
that
lot
happened
of
to Ben
guys
Simmons
sit,
too.
just sit.
Sat the whole year.
What's the rush? Right? But
They weren't a number 1 draft pick.
they
Ben
were.
Simmons was,
Ben
yeah.
Simmons.
Ben Simmons was. And
Blake
Blake-
Griffin was one.
And they got a
Embiid,
chance to sit out. You're right.
They got sit. I don't, at the time, honestly, I'm Randy coming from Durham College, Oshawa 401, sitting in rooms and,
Yeah, just
okay, yeah, I can, yeah. And it is what it is. And, you know, Anthony finally caught his stride like in the January, February. You guys can find all these clips on YouTube. January, February, that season,
Mm-hmm.
started catching his stride.
yup.
Then gets hurt.
Yup.
Gets hurt to end the
You
season.
think he got hurt just because he was like, fast tracking?
Man, there's so much reasons as to why he got hurt. you learn about the human body and your hips and back and how things move. And I always go back to he didn't get the chance to transition into the NBA. So he was playing catch up the whole time. The whole time.
I always tell people when you're not in shape and you try to play yourself
Think
into
about
shape.
it. Think about it. How are
That's how
you
you get
supposed to
hurt.
learn something new when you're trying to catch your breath?
Mhm.
When you're trying to catch your breath, you're trying to not die.
Yeah, and remember, like you
And
said,
coach is talking to you. Are you going to hear him? You're not going to hear him, right?
but like you said, the game is so fast. You know what I mean? So you're
Mhm.
trying to take all of this in.
Yeah, but what really sucks for me is like every time AB caught his stride, he got hurt.
Something happened.
If you fast track to when he was with the Clippers G League team, and I mean he was busting, some ass, man, like really busting some ass, and he got that call up to Houston when D'Antoni was there, and I thought that was gonna be a match made in heaven. Undersized, not undersized, but small. He could play the four. When it comes to small ball, he would have
He's
been right. It
amazing.
would have been perfect. He was stroking it. Everything was right.
Pause.
That's two.
Not my fault. Then he gets hurt again. Like my
We're gonna
heart
do
just
number-
stopped,
We're gonna do
man.
number count from now on.
We
Go
can
ahead.
still,
Go
but
ahead.
my heart just stopped because I was like, yo, this was it. When I seen him dominating the G League with the Clippers, I was like, yup, he's done. He's good. D'Antoni picked him up. Just watch. Talking my shit online. And then, yeah, you know,
Got hurt.
people
Do
start.
you think a
yeah.
lot of it was mental? You know, outside noise. This guy's like a bust, which clearly he's not. We've seen way more number one picks that
Yeah.
were worse off than that.
I mean, I think that stuff always is going to affect you. We live online.
Right.
Yeah.
We
You're right.
live
You're
online.
right.
You can't run from it.
No.
Even if you delete apps off your phone,
They'll still find you.
it's gonna show up on your TV.
Right.
You're gonna hear it in the car. Someone's gonna bring it up to you. Like,
Yo, shout out Mula first, man. He came up with a nice track. But I didn't like the AB line. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Track goes hard. I forgot what it's called.
What do you
but-
say?
No, it's just like just discrediting my man's like.
you know what's
what I mean?
crazy? And I'll say this to everybody in the city, the country, the world, man. Anthony is a Canadian hero.
Fact though.
He is
He's first ever to do that.
Yep.
Bottom line.
number one pick.
And no one can ever take that away from him, ever. Regardless of what people think or thought his career should have been or could have been. I look back and I think about it all the time. Like, man, what could I have done to make things better or easier?
Right.
And there's times in life where you've got to really, really look back and say, this didn't make sense for so many reasons, but I don't have the answers. Right?
Facts.
I look back and I think what was required, what was asked, I did. I wanted to learn and pick up things because without Anthony, there is no Rany Rozaay. I'm not sitting here.
I want to ask you a question about the management company that you started. Was that something when he got drafted? It was just like automatic, like
Nah,
let's just do this,
brother. Anthony got drafted and I was just happy to go to NBA games.
Right.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was green like no tomorrow. I went to school for sociology. I studied people.
Talk about pivoting, man.
So
Yeah.
while Anthony is here, I'm figuring out, oh, his taxes came in today. Okay. Right. Not my world. But I had to learn. I had to
Right.
pick up and understand what I needed to understand. So I started asking questions.
Yeah.
Call his financial advisor. Hey, when are you coming to town? I'd like to sit down. I've got questions about what here do I need to speak to Anthony about? What does Anthony need to know that's within this 40-page book you sent us?
Straight up.
That's what I became for him. I became his translator,
Yeah.
right? So after his first year playing in Cleveland, I think we came back and we did the back-to-school backpack giveaway with you.
Yes.
And Jane and
yes,
Finch.
Jane and Finch, man, that was huge.
We worked with Staples and we said, you know what?
that was big.
It was
huge.
a different year. It wasn't the year that we expected, but one thing that we've learned is like when you give love, you get love.
Always.
And we wanted to do something. And it was, for me, it was like my first time doing something,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was my first community event. That working with Anthony and seeing when Anthony walked into a room, the way kids looked at him,
Come on, man. That put a battery in a lot of kids' backs in the Jane
that
Finch
put a
area.
battery in my back.
Let's go.
It said, Randy, you could have this impact, but you don't need to be 6'8", 240 to have this type of impact.
Right.
And that's what I told myself. And that's what I've been after is how do we match profit with purpose? Because there's a lot of opportunity when we look at problems and how to solve them. Right? There's this saying that I believe in, and this is going to answer your question. The theory of proximity, right, believes in those closest to the problem have the answer. So when we look at the sports world right now, I see a problem that our athletes aren't getting what they need to get. I think the answer is they need more personal development.
Yeah.
They need to understand who they are from 12. They need to know their environment. They need to be aware. They need to know that I am Rany Rozaay, a Black Canadian to parents, not just an athlete. Like my parents came from nothing and got here and have given me everything that I possibly could have asked for, right? I don't have any quarrels because in building Rozaay Management, I wanted to find a way to help athletes take what they were interested in and build brand partnerships with them. So matching profit with purpose.
Right.
So athletes were interested in, Danny Green, for example, was interested in dogs, loves dogs. We partnered with the city of Toronto and a local dog company that's based out of British Columbia. And we sponsored a Adopt a Dog event with Danny Green. We got the mayor to come, say some words, so on and so forth, right? Like, how do we get creative with impact? How do we get creative with marketing? And, you know, Rozaay Management, when I launched it in 2015, that's what I was trying to understand. And it's grown, and I mean, COVID has ultimately shifted it to where now I'm really just looking at how do I really solve all of these experiences that I've gone through and working with Anthony or working with Don, working with Dylan Brooks, working with whomever, because at all levels, it's still the same game. It's still the same ball that goes into the hoop. Doesn't matter who throws it.
Right.
So if this infrastructure doesn't change, but the people change, but the outcomes for the people that make this infrastructure go, if the people don't see outcomes, there's a problem with the infrastructure.
Facts.
Because they're creating all that value. And with athletes right now, there's more opportunity than ever.
So much.
If you're a high school kid, your son's probably going to get some bags as he gets older. In high school.
He's already getting bags.
Working.
Literally bags.
Shout out Under Armour, shout out CYBL. Great event, great event. Let's go. All-Star game. Let's do it.
So,
yeah, man. All right. But yo, let's fast forward a little bit. You know, you got Training Grounds app out right now. You know what I mean? Like during this pandemic, you created Training Grounds for athletes, right? So my question is, what are the evolution goals for the services, number one? And what is your ultimate goal for Training Grounds?
Wow, that's a big question. I would say the ultimate goal, actually, I'll start with like the evolution of the platform. Right now, Training Ground is delivering on-demand mobile programs.
Bottom line.
On demand. We're an on-demand culture, right? We don't watch TV. Like I told you guys before we started, I don't watch NBA games. But I want my on-demand. I'll go watch Famous Los. And Famous Los will tell me what happened. Right? Because we live in this culture and the world around athletes is changing so much, I wanted to build a platform that was flexible. Right? If you're traveling, if you're going on if you're going on an AAU trip, you could tap in, learn about how banks work, or learn that Red Bull doesn't actually make their own drinks. I bet you guys didn't know that.
I didn't.
No, I didn't know
But
that.
I went on the app. Training Ground. Get the app. Stop playing.
So it's free to download. The business model, everyone's like, oh, well, how do you make money? Well, one, I want to serve my community first.
Facts.
So that's why it's free to download. It's free to download because we're constantly going to create free content for you to upskill, grow your skills, because there's such a huge talent shortage in the world right now. And I really think athletes could fill that gap. I think athletes can change the problems that we have in our communities because they think about every athlete that becomes. Think about the community they create,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't matter what school you go to, but I just went to the BioSteel game, and around Elijah there was like 8 people.
Mhm.
Around Miller, what's his name?
Leonard Miller.
Leonard Miller. It's like 7 people,
Right.
and I'm like, wow, this is where it starts.
Mhm.
I was like, I used to be there.
Right.
Y'all don't even know what's coming your way. Y'all don't even know what's coming your way. But because I know that y'all don't know what's coming your way, I put it in the app, right? There's personal branding in there, and learn how to build your brand.
Right.
Build on financial literacy. Learn what artificial intelligence is.
Yeah.
Like, understand what that is. My son is 10 months old. He's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and AI is going to automate a bunch of stuff around him. He's not even going to know it's around him.
Facts.
He's not even going to know it's around him. That's how fast the world is moving.
It's huge. It's huge.
So yeah, I think training ground is different. I'm still exploring and trying to find the best way to explain it because it's a lot of things in one.
It's to be continued.
It's to be continued.
But real talk, you got to get the app. Don't sleep. All the kids that follow us, thank you. Because I talked to a few kids today at the CYBL All-Star game, and their parents were telling me, yo, I'm watching your podcast because my child told me to. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. But by saying that, get the app. Training Ground, buy the app. I mean, just download it. It's yours. The content, the information is going to help. We're all student athletes. Well, I'm not anymore, but you guys are student athletes, man. It's going to help you moving forward. Trust me.
For sure. And I think the overall evolution and big goal is I really want to build like the next LinkedIn for athletes, right? Come here, learn. Come here and find your next internship. Find your next mentor.
Right.
Find your next job. So your transition is a little bit easier.
Right.
You've already started because you've attended some events through Training Ground.
Yeah.
You've already started because you've gone through a couple of learning pathways. And by the time you're done, you're not completely like, what's next? You're like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this.
Yep.
Make it smooth.
Oh, I can work here. Well, maybe here's a 3-month course I could take through Training Ground that helps me get a job as a tech salesman, selling tech, starting at $80K, starting.
Holy smokes.
Or 70. I think it's like 68 or
It's all
70.
good.
With commission that can get you up to 130 in a year.
I don't think people are understanding about this app is like,
That's serious business right there,
yo,
man.
when imagine as soon as your career comes to an end and that next pivot is gonna be so crucial. Like fam's like, what are you gonna do? Like when I pivoted out after my little playing career was over, like I didn't know what to do.
A lot of kids take gap years. They always say that.
Right,
Like, they'll
but
say after they graduate high school, like, I'm going to take a gap year.
I'm gonna take a year
work.
off.
They
What?
don't know what they want to do.
The problem
Smart
is,
kids, too. Really smart kids.
I think the biggest problem is we have to build into our DNA that we can't stop learning. We
Bottom
continuously learn,
Mhm.
right? So I'm going to take a gap and do what?
Do what?
You talked about right now that, you know, when you're ready to pivot, the problem is athletes think that, oh, getting ready for life after sport means you don't take the sport serious.
Yep. You're not focused.
If you're not focused, remember we spoke about
Yeah.
being
Mhm.
focused in the gym,
Mhm.
this, that, and so on and forth. You can still do that because talk to me about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's won every ring award, retired, won an Oscar,
Right.
launched a
Smooth.
venture fund,
Smooth.
owns part of Turkish Airlines, has body armor. Body armor is worth over $1 billion right now, and Kobe's dead, and his kids are good.
Good.
But Kobe still took care of what happened on the court, but still took care of that. So what's your excuse?
Focus. And that focus just doesn't mean
So
on the court.
I get it. Focusing outside of basketball is hard.
Mhm.
Let us help you.
Training Ground.
Let us
Training
make it a
Ground.
little bit easier for
Training
you.
Ground.
Let-
Download
just
the app. Trust me.
The app's gonna tell you what to just follow.
Yeah.
Just follow. Just follow.
Yeah.
Let us help you.
Let us help, man.
Everyone's got a tool in their toolbox. Let Training Ground be the tool that helps
Let's do
you.
it.
That's
Let's
it.
do it. Don't play, man.
But
Download the app. man.
I want to go back real quick when you were talking about AU basketball, and I want to ask you, what do you think makes a successful AU program? Because my thing is, you got a scholarship. You know, we all know going to school per year could be like $25K a year to go to university. Some of these schools, maybe even more. Some less, maybe, right? So my thing is, if I'm getting these kids into college, like
on full scholarship,
because not everybody's gonna make it to the NBA. So that's my thing. What I think makes a successful AU program.
right?
What about you?
No, same. I think the ultimate goal is get that scholarship so school's paid for. But then after, everything else is a bonus. If you get a chance to get to the pro level,
Absolutely.
that's an ultimate bonus. But like, what are you gonna do after? Are you gonna give back to your program? You know what I mean? I think that's what makes a successful AAU program. You know,
100%.
you
But
got
you gotta,
so many.
with you saying that, you got to build some character with great young men, right?
Right.
That
But
want to do that.
That's
right?
on like that's up to the AAU program to help develop that character.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
love these terms. Fucking love these terms.
Develop the character while you're hooping, developing your skills as a hooper.
I think that's
and
so important.
as a
man.
human being.
Some
You
of
know
these
what I
kids,
mean?
man.
Yeah, because some of these kids are nice, tough as nails, but boy, they're assholes, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, why are you such a douchebag for? You don't need.
What about you, Rose? What do you
Brother,
think?
I would say it's a mixture of both, right? We're still playing sports. We're still competing. We're still trying to get scholarships, right?
Right.
And we understand that, you know, sports is one of the world's most unifying tools, right? Like nothing brings people together like sports. Maybe food.
Food, yes.
Food first, right? Because
Yeah.
I know everyone's having
Sports.
fried fish this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah. Bun and cheese.
Maybe
You
food.
already know.
Okay.
You already know. Happy
Yes,
Easter,
sir.
everybody.
But with sports, what we're seeing is more and more kids are playing. I found a stat online that says the Canadian youth sports industry is a $8.7 billion industry. $8.7 billion industry. Now, a lot of that is hockey
Right.
and soccer, but what's third,
That's what's coming.
basketball's coming.
It's coming.
And what are we seeing? We're seeing the cost of gyms go up.
Yep.
The privatization of sports is upon us. Cost of gyms have gone up. Elite trainers.
Yep.
Shout out to Forever Athletics.
Yes.
On-court trainers and body trainers. Some kids are even seeing mental coaches to make sure that they're all okay. Cost of sports is going up. More and more kids are going to the NBA, which is great.
Yeah.
It's great. On the flip side, the window is still less than 1%.
Right. Right.
So the more
Right.
that play, that 1% actually gets smaller. So now we had 24 NBA players this year. Amazing.
Was it 24?
24. I
24.
think that's what
Right
I
now.
saw online.
Okay,
24. I could be
yeah.
wrong. It could be 25.
No, you're right. 24.
24. 24.
This is the
NBA.
most.
Most.
That is, at one time. Yeah.
Number 2 in the world, Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
What does that mean? We get opportunities to have CYBL
Right.
weekends because the game's growing that much.
Right.
Under Armour sees that there's a lot of Canadians coming to the NBA. Let's make sure CYBL weekend is a ball so these kids never leave the Under Armour brand. That's
Right.
what we're seeing in sports. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with that. The problem I see is if you don't go D1, what is your outcome?
Right.
Because we know the percentage is still
Not
less than
everybody-
1%.
Not everybody's going D1.
So
Right.
coaches, what plans do you have for your athletes that don't go D1, that don't go JUCO,
Right.
that don't go D2, that don't go OUA, that say basketball was everything and I didn't make it and
Right.
I don't want to do anything? What's your plan for that kid
Right.
that was with your program for 6 years?
That's
And,
key.
and the
That
reality
key.
is in the inner city, those kids,
They
They
need it
lose-
more than anyone.
they do,
more than
but they
anybody.
lose that social capital. Like my
Right.
man What's with Andy was talking about couple episodes back, but he was like, yo, some of them they lose that social capital after the ball's over and they go to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You know what I mean? It's what they know, right?
So to answer your question, I think it's yes, scholarships. Why? It changes the trajectory of your life.
It
Getting
does.
school paid for,
Helps out big time.
that means you're somebody. You've done some things right. A community has built you to be successful. So you should get this scholarship. It's hard.
Right.
It is.
But if you get it, you got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Now at the college level, you can get NIL deals and brand deals and start your own company when you're in college.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if you do go D1, where are you getting that knowledge to go and do that?
Training grounds.
Let's get it.
So I think the big answer is yes, the scholarships, but we're in a world where women's sports is growing.
It is.
There's an investment in women's sports happening. It has to happen. Why? Because they've been marginalized for so long. Black athletes,
Mm-hmm.
get ready. It's coming. It's coming. DE&I, George Floyd, there's some sort of reformations coming for black athletes. And my worry is it's going to come and we're either going to miss it or we're not going to know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get an opportunity to level the playing field a little bit and hit the goalpost because we kicked a little bit too hard
Right.
because we weren't ready.
Wow.
Right? And our community loves basketball particularly so much because it's given us everything. Basketball has given me everything.
Crazy relationships.
Everything in my life right now. The car, my friends, being here, the job that I have, the stuff that I'm working on currently all comes from basketball.
Mhm.
Not just the business that we're doing, but the skill set that I brought.
Right.
I still wake up early to work. The same way I woke up early to get to the gym.
Straight up.
I still wake up and talk to my team and communicate and take criticism and give criticism because I learned that playing basketball.
Yeah.
Bro, you suck today. You missed bare layups. You know what? Go to the corner.
Yeah.
Right? But I bring a lot of the things that this game has taught me. And I think that's the biggest thing that coaches, parents, trainers, anyone that's playing this game of basketball right now, because right now it's a game.
Mhm.
It's a game. Yes, it can change things for you, but it's still a game.
Mhm.
No matter who throws the ball, it's still going to run.
No matter what. But the transferable skills.
The skills that you could take with
Yes.
you, the relationships. Like if I'm, if I'm 15, 16, 17 right now, I'm looking at my favorite pizza store or I'm looking at my favorite hat store and I'm trying to close a deal with you to say, yo, I can get some more people to come and buy your stuff and I'll show you how. Here's my media kit. This is who I am. This is my audience. This is the number of people that followed me, so on and so forth. I think I can drive you X. Pay me $100 a month. You're telling me as a store owner, a kid's going to draw $1,000 in revenue for you in a month. You're not going to give that kid $100?
Absolutely.
You're not going to do that?
Yeah.
You
But
know,
if you're a kid,
yeah,
or if you're the big brother of a kid or someone around the kid, how are you helping that kid do that?
right.
So it's I think outcomes for these AAU programs is now my number one question. Like, what outcomes are you driving? 'Cause
That's it.
you can't tell a 12-year-old kid that I'm going to make sure you're a D1. You
Right.
can't give that
No,
promise.
you can't.
And because you can't give that guarantee, you're working a service-based business with no 100% back guarantee. Think about
Right.
that.
Even though some people do make that guarantee, which I think is wrong, but you're absolutely right.
The business is the model. There's no guarantees. So because of that, how do you move on?
Absolutely no guarantees, man.
So
That's some
AAU
good stuff,
programs,
man.
man, yo, what should be part of your package is, yes, we're going to provide your child with the ultimate development that's going to get you to where you need to be. But if not, you got to sprinkle in that training ground app. Get it so you can add it to the repertoire of learning.
Overall experience, man.
Bottom line, it's
And
going
I
to help
think
you
I
out,
think
man.
it's so key what you said. Those kids that are not going Division 1 and who will be done playing basketball
Right,
Sooner than
right
you
at
think.
yeah,
Right.
not even go to university like
right.
high school. I mean,
Sooner
we gotta
than
we
they
gotta
think.
worry about those kids,
Yeah.
man.
You know
There's
what
a
I
lot
mean?
more to them. I promise you that. In that
Yes.
24 list that came out.
Yes.
You're damn right.
Yes,
Damn
yes. Moving on, I want to get into some NBA, man.
All right.
I want to talk about some predictions, man. First round predictions.
All
So who we got today? Who's playing today? Raptors are playing today at 6.
Yeah.
They're playing. We got Miami. No, Miami's playing tomorrow or today.
I'm not too sure.
Anyways, first round, Miami and the Hawks, man. Who you got in that series, man?
First round, I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with Miami, man. I think
Miami.
More
Trae Young?
experience.
it's nice, but just the shot selection, The green light, it's gonna catch up to.
Clint Capella got hurt last night.
And he got hurt
too,
last
man.
night as
They're
well.
Gonna, they're gonna need that big guy.
They're gonna need that big, of course, because Bam is waiting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They got to deal with
Facts.
Tyler Hero. Trae Young's gonna have to play some defense. You got
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry to worry about.
And it's
You
the
got-
playoffs.
and it's the
too.
playoffs, man.
Defense is a little bit different.
It's a
We
little
know
bit
we
different.
have you for 4 games. So
Yes.
we're gonna try to take this away, this
Yup.
game. If it works, great. We'll make it better. So
So Miami, I'm gonna go.
You guys
with
are going
Miami.
Miami?
I'll go Miami.
I'm
too.
not. I'm
Miami.
not too fine with Miami. I
experience.
the experience,
More
yes.
Yes.
I just think stars win, man. Like
Ah,
stars
I
win.
I think
The
that's
league's
phasing.
different.
I think that's phasing out, man. People
Nah.
laugh at me when I say it, but I feel like
I think you're.
the
I'm
the
gonna laugh
super
too.
team
Yeah,
era,
I'm
this
gonna
whole
laugh too.
superstar era, it's coming to an end.
It'll
Teams
never
right
come to
now,
an end.
teams right now are.
When you
You
say
can have
that,
the
right?
best. You can have the best player in the series, but what about the second, third, fourth best in that series? If
Okay,
it's
so
coming
let-
from the same team and you have that one
So
superstar,
let me ask you a question,
who's
right?
gonna who may come out with the win?
What you're saying kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
Here we
But I'm
go.
gonna tell you why. Listen, we've seen the NBA for how many years,
A hot
you know?
minute, yeah.
and how many teams have won without a superstar? That's all you have to ask yourself. And it's Detroit Pistons when they beat the Lakers,
Right.
when they had a bunch of all-stars but no actually superstar.
Right.
We haven't seen a chance when the Raptors won. Kawhi was a superstar.
Right. But who
We've-
was the second, third, fourth best
But I'm
player?
just telling you, superstars
Right.
win. So
They- Mm.
if you don't have that superstar in your team, I just don't see how you're gonna win.
Yeah, but I don't think Trae Young is that superstar right now.
Well,
he's
that's
not winning
we're,
games.
We're
like
still
that. Like,
Well, he
he's
made it to-
winning.
He made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Like
Did he?
he did against the Bucks.
Right.
Like he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
He did.
I
He
mean,
actually
You know what I mean? Is he a
Ben
superstar?
Simmons kind of fizzled out, but a lot have to go your
Not
way,
even
man. A
Philly?
little bit of luck. You know what I mean? A little bit of luck helps out too, but
And the reason why I think like when I say that about stars, I think that I think James Harden and I think Embiid are the superstars. But I think if we double Embiid, I just think James is a shell of himself. I don't think he's a superstar anymore. That's
Well,
just my
listen,
thing.
if we're transitioning to the Raptors and Philly, then
Yes.
okay.
I'm going with the Raptors.
I'm going with the
First
Raptors
round.
as well, but only off of the strength of one is Tobias Harris gonna evolve because I think he's hating on a low. He's mad that James Harden just dribbles way too much, takes the continuity away. He does. If you taking their body language when they're on the perimeter waiting for that rock,
Right.
it's brutal. Niang is the only one that likes it. You know what I mean? Because he knows he's waiting in the
Are we-
corner.
Are we really gonna mention Yang?
I
on
gotta
the show,
mention
bro?
Niang, man.
We're
He's gonna
really
get
gonna
some.
mention
He's gonna
that
get
guy
some
on the
playing
show,
time
bro?
when they come to
Come on,
Toronto.
man. Come on.
But
come on.
anyway, if Pascal's gonna be that number
Niang.
2 best player in the series, we got this. So I'm sorry. I'm still leaning towards.
I'm
I'm
going
leaning
with
towards the Raptors. I'm scared to do it.
For what? You've
It's
been
been a-
going hard all
It's
year.
been a great
That's one
yo.
for me. Pause. Yeah. You've been
Pause.
going. Yeah.
super pause. But yo, listen.
It wasn't as bad as your stroke, but go ahead.
Guys, come on. Come
Anyways,
on.
go ahead.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, but the Raptors, this is year 1 of the rebuild. Kyle left. Everybody was saying we're gonna rebuild.
When you say that, how is it a
overachieved.
rebuild year when you have Pascal and
Hear
you
this,
have
hear this, hear
you have
this.
OG
Listen, you guys
and you
weren't
have Freddie, and
you
those
guys
guys
were
are
not talking
champions?
like this.
How's
You
that a
guys-
rebuild?
Nobody was
Does that
talking
make
like
sense?
this.
A rebuild?
Nobody was talking
That's
like
not-
this at
that's
the
not what you
beginning
consider a
of the
rebuild.
year. At the beginning of the
Bro,
season,
every year the
nobody was saying
analysts and
that.
these guys say
we
Raptors aren't
lost
making playoffs.
Kyle Lowry.
Okay, you're going Raptors?
Yes, I'm going.
Okay,
Raptors.
who you going? Philly Raptors.
I think I want to say Raptors, but man, James Harden is fun to watch.
He is.
Is he fun to watch
He's
anymore?
Fun.
The
yeah.
pressure's on him. The pressure is on him for him to
That's
step up.
17 and 11 or whatever he averaged in the regular season. Ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work
in the
playoffs.
playoffs. It might.
Nah.
It might.
We'll see.
'Cause I don't trust in Maxey. I don't trust in that young boy.
I like
don't trust.
Maxey. I think Maxey's gonna
I
have
don't
a
Shake
great
trust
Milton
playoff.
is good. I like Shake Milton.
You came on the show and said Shake Milton.
I like him.
Oh my.
I like
okay,
his
we
game.
gonna move on.
Hey, hey,
Got some
Rand-
Yang
Rand-
and Shake Milton.
Rand-
Really, guys? What the hell is going on?
We're hoopers, man. We're
Come
hooping.
on, man.
We're basketball
Regards.
players,
Come
savants,
on,
man. We
regards.
come on, man. We see it.
Regards.
Shake
see it,
Milton
man.
and Niang. Anyways, Milwaukee and Chicago Bulls. Who you guys got?
I feel sorry for Chicago, man. You guys been going
Why?
downhill
That's gonna
since
be a great
all summer.
No, DeMar's there. Is the other wing there?
Levine.
Levine. Is he playing?
I think so.
All right, I don't see
That's
the
gonna be a
Bucks just.
fun
I don't think the
series.
Bucks are just gonna.
If
Load him out
Lonzo
like
Ball
that.
if Lonzo Ball is not playing, which he's not,
He's not playing.
nah.
Really?
it's
You're
rap.
putting
It could be
you're
a
putting
sweep.
stock in him.
Yeah, you need a guard.
It's
Drew
gonna-
Holiday.
Drew
man.
Holiday's the
Drew
best
Holiday's a killer.
Defending point guard out right now.
He's probably one of the best top
On
five
ball
skill guards.
pause type guard.
That's 3.
That's all good.
He's
You
not-
have it?
He paused it. That's,
I did. Come on.
Marcus Smart. He's been in Marcus Smart.
Better than Marcus Smart by far. By far. Well,
Okay.
not by far, but like.
So
by
who
far.
you got?
I got Bucks,
You got Bucks. Who you got?
and it may be a sweep.
I got Bucks.
Bucks. Sweep.
No, DeMar. Give DeMar
7
a
games?
game. Give DeMar
One
a
game only.
I give him a
Rose,
game.
one game,
as long
bro?
as, yo, listen. The
What?
last time,
Who's
the last
guarding
time,
Giannis?
the last
No-
time,
Nobody on earth can guard Giannis.
Yo.
But you gotta have somebody. Like
Yo.
when we had him,
the last
Pascal had
time,
him kinda.
yeah, he did. But yo, the last time
30.
DeMar was in the playoffs, I remember him saying,
Man.
"If we had such and such on our team,
You see?
we'll be winning."
Bro, do you have? Where do
It
you,
hurt.
where
It
do you
hurt
have this
me.
stuff written down?
It hurt
at?
me. It hurt me.
Where do you, like,
Remember he
that
said
stuff
that about
written down?
LeBron, you
Where?
know? Remember he
Anyway.
said that about LeBron when LeBronto and all that. Yo, bro, I heard somebody say LeBronto the other. Yo, if I hear another man say LeBronto to me, yo, come in my DM and say LeBronto. Watch. LeBron's not even in the playoffs right now.
LeBronto
fam. LeBronto.
or,
Shut up,
or
LeBron.
Bron.
No,
it was
no, no.
LeBronto.
Yeah,
LeBronto, man.
There was
that,
a there was
that
a
was
year
very creative.
Toronto couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
There was like 2-3 years we could not
And
beat him.
DeMar was like, if we had him on our team, we'll be winning. I was like,
Then they traded him.
yeah, of course. So don't bring that,
Anyways,
LeBron. I mean, don't bring that, DeMar.
No, no.
But you guys are gonna get swept.
This is an interesting one. The Nets and the Celtics.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's what the playoffs look like?
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Nets and Celtics tomorrow, 3:00. Who you guys have?
Yes.
Who do you have?
Oh man.
I think this is gonna come down to coaching, man. My God, Steve
You
Nash.
know what?
He's a Canadian, but he is awful. Sorry.
You know what? You know, and you guys, that's
awful.
a good one. That's a good one. I like that. I like that way you're bringing it to the coaching
The
because
coaching is crazy.
you got Brad Stevens, although he's upper management now. Word on the street. Shout out my man NBA Chev for enlightening me. You see how Boston was playing poor in the first half of the season. The defense was out of whack or whatever.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens talked to the coach, gave him his old defensive package that worked for Boston back in the day. Like just really jamming the three. No,
So this
packing
is,
the
so
paint.
this is Brad Stevenson.
This is kind of Brad Stevens.
Nah, nah.
I'm just saying.
I don't
it-
believe that.
It's familiar.
No.
Look how many players that
No.
was with Brad Stevens that's still on Boston right now.
I don't care. He
Their
got he
defense-
he was about to get
I'm
fired.
just telling you.
He left
I'm
for
just
a
telling you
reason.
what it is, man.
No.
I'm just telling you what
We're
it is.
gonna give Udoka his
I'm-
credit.
No, I'm not.
We're gonna
Not
give
yet.
that coach his credit.
Not yet.
We're not giving it to no Brad
Brad
Stevenson.
Stevens came
No.
back downstairs.
No. Who do you have, sir? Who do you have? I don't want to
yo,
hear that one.
I'm going with you're gonna shoot that one down. I'm telling you
I'm
what it
shooting
is.
that one down.
All right, you'll
I'm,
see.
I'm giving
You will
that black
see.
man his credit.
It's
Udoka.
not, now you gotta bring. It's not a
Yes.
race thing.
I don't.
fam.
I'm giving him his credit. He's coaching right now.
All right. I'm going with New Jersey. I mean Brooklyn. Sorry.
Yeah, I gotta go
Yeah,
Brooklyn too.
I'm
man.
gonna go with Brooklyn.
Why
man.
though? Why?
KD, man.
So-
KD
so-
and Kyrie. That is
Yeah.
scary.
So Kyrie and
Kyrie.
Kate. That's a good one.
Kyrie.
I'd have to. Okay.
K-Dash.
Kyrie and KD
Yeah.
versus Tatum and Brown.
So
What about the others though?
yeah. So Boston wins in the others category, but back to
And
your
the big man
original
is
point,
not playing.
Right.
Williams.
You said this league wins with superstars.
I agree. I believe that.
There's no bigger scoring threat in the NBA than Kevin Durant.
Sprinkle some Kyrie in that.
Number one scoring threat in the NBA.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant by far.
And Kyrie's number 2.
And Jason Tatum, he's right there.
Jason Tatum is there.
Tatum's
He just-
bag is
you know what I
crazy.
mean?
Tatum's bag, but what about the rest?
Right.
I don't know
Everyone-
what Jalen's bag.
They have so much talent. Boston's always been a question mark. Like, you guys should have at least been in the finals by now.
Right.
At least.
Jeez.
At least.
Tell you, Brad Stevens
Yo.
came back down and just helped them out. That's what I'm saying.
Anyways, Phoenix versus the Pelicans, man. Pelicans just won last night. That was a good game. That playing game
Shout
last
out-
night, man.
Shout out Willie
Versus
Green,
the Clippers.
Coach Willie Green. I should say.
Is Suns gonna sweep those guys, man?
I don't think
Phoenix?
sweep.
No.
I don't think
They
sweep.
catch a game or two.
Brandon Ingram's going to.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it might go. It's 5 games or 7?
Seven.
I think that series goes to 7.
it could.
Really?
It could.
Yeah.
It could possibly go 7.
Because CJ is
Tell him again, man. Tell him again.
like
Are
CJ
you-
and Dame.
I know that's your boy, man. Come on.
No. I'll say this.
Yeah,
I
man.
know
I'll
that's your
say
boy,
this.
Rose. Come on.
I'll say this. I think that the Suns do not have somebody that can match up with CJ.
Bridges?
No.
Bridges is 6'7".
Yeah.
We're
Can
talking
have-
about
I think
minutes,
CJ's gonna cook
long
CJ's
arms.
Yo,
I think CJ's
Bridges?
gonna cook him. I think
CJ's
CJ's gonna cook him. Then you have Brandon Ingram as well.
Yup.
Who does CJ guard?
CJ? It's okay. The NBA is not about defense. It's an offensive scoring league.
Right.
So you got Phoenix in 7.
I got Phoenix in 6. I'm
I
giving Pelicans
Phoenix,
2 games.
I got Phoenix in
But
in
I will
4.
not be surprised if Pelicans were to upset Phoenix.
Upset in what?
I would not be surprised if it happened.
Upset in what?
I'm
though?
just saying they're
in a game. What are you talking
They're
about?
they're a
The
nice
series.
team,
What?
man.
In the series, you mean?
In the series, yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying I would not
People
be
gonna
surprised.
Don't do that right now, please.
I'm-
Don't do that.
I just
Come
told
on,
you
man.
that Phoenix gonna win, but I
No.
like Pelicans, man.
Let's keep it like that.
Okay.
Anyways,
Sorry.
Dallas versus Utah.
Well,
Mind you,
Luka's out.
Luka's not playing. He's not playing. He's gonna miss the
Utah.
first game for sure.
Utah.
Utah, right? I'm
Right.
going Utah as well.
too, man.
This is an interesting one for me. Golden State versus Denver. Curry hasn't played in a while. He will be playing game 1.
Mm-hmm. They
and
don't
Den-
have. I'm going with
who's gonna
Denver,
guard?
man.
Who's gonna guard
Really?
Jokic, man?
I'm going Denver. Sorry.
Jokic is a problem.
Sorry, Coach
man.
Jammer, man. You're still my guy, man. You were the one.
You're
You're the real MVP, Coach Jammer. We know this already. I'll leave it at that.
I'm going Golden State, man.
and Clay still playing.
Clay just
and
had
Draymond
40.
too?
Draymond's playing. They're all healthy.
And
They all be big.
Wiggs.
Yep. Wiggins
I
will
love
be there.
Wiggs,
Golden
man.
State.
Real talk.
Golden State.
If Jamal was playing, I go Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's gonna miss. I think him and Michael Porter Jr. Not
They're
Michael
still out.
Porter. Is that with Porter junior I think they'll be
Listen,
out
man,
for the rest of the
Yeah,
Games
so you gotta go Golden
games
State.
are gonna be close. Games are gonna be close, and the best player on the court is Joker, the MVP. So I gotta go Denver.
Is he the best player on the court?
He is the best player on the court. Who's guarding him?
Better than Curry?
Who's guarding Joker?
I know you don't like Curry, but
I
that's
love
kinda
Curry.
disrespectful.
Shout out
He's
Curry.
an Under Armour guy. What do you mean?
Love Curry, man. But I'm just saying.
So you got Denver,
got
you got
Denver.
Golden State. I got
Denver.
Golden State.
Denver's taking it.
Golden State's probably gonna win. This is another interesting one. Memphis versus
Yup.
Minnesota.
Yep. Shout
Pat
out
Bev
Pat
is
Bev,
already
man.
talking.
Yeah.
Ja, they're young.
He's already.
You know,
I think
he
it
already
goes
got
7.
some. He already
Let's
got some
go
real
7,
estate.
right?
I
Pat
definitely-
Bev already
This is
got
the
some real
series I
estate in
wanna
Ja's
see.
head.
Yeah.
This
Already.
is the series I want to see.
Already. Everybody was laughing. Yo, timeout. Everybody that was laughing at Minnesota
Okay,
for
hold
their
on, hold on.
play-in celebration.
Hold on.
Come on, guys.
Just tell me who you have. Who you have?
Well, I'm going with my heart on my head. Huh?
Say pause, please.
Pause.
Hurry, say pause, Tim.
Pause. All right, listen. I'm gonna go with the head. Pause.
What?
Listen. I got Memphis in
Randy,
7.
I apologize. I
I
know
got-
it's your first time.
Wow.
I apologize.
I don't normally come to the side of town. So it's fine.
I got Memphis. I got Memphis in 7, but it can go either way, man.
It could.
It could
This
go
is a
either
tough
way,
one.
man.
Yo, I
It's a tough
love
one.
I want this to go
Anthony
7 games,
Edwards.
man.
He is
He
tough.
is so.
Anthony
He
Edwards
got
is
robbed.
tough.
He got robbed of that rookie of the year,
He's
man.
the real deal.
Won.
He's the real
I think
deal.
LaMelo
Melo
got
won.
it.
Melo won.
LaMelo's nice too, but Anthony, man, wow. That Ant-Man is real, man.
He is
Okay.
real.
Those
Yeah,
are
man.
the first round predictions, man.
Who wins the title?
I'm going with Phoenix this year, man. I think Phoenix is going to win. I think they learned from their mistakes.
How? I don't know.
Yeah, because they the way they formed their team, like they kept the same guys and they just added pieces, like
Added a lot more
Biyombo.
bigs.
They added those bigs that they didn't
Yes.
have. It was just Ayton by himself, and that's hard to ask this young kid. Yo, go out and just guard Giannis. It's not gonna happen.
No disrespect, Frank Kaminsky.
And look
You're
what he
still our
did.
guy, yo.
Come on, man.
He
Frank-
came to Toronto once,
That's
remember?
what I'm saying. That's what
for the
I'm saying,
bound,
yo.
for the
Like,
bound.
for the-
He
yeah, he was on our OVO squad,
He-
man.
he didn't
It
even
was
dominate
random as
that.
hell. How did
Yeah.
he get here?
I don't know, man. Shout out Nico, man. Yeah,
He averaged about a good solid 8 a
Weird
game.
relationship.
Yeah, he averaged about 8
Yo,
a game.
guys, I got Frank
Yeah.
Kaminsky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tank.
It's all good, man.
Frank
Yeah,
the Tank.
he
Frank
pick
the
and
Tank.
pop.
He played. He
Pick
played
and pop,
well.
man.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
got
You got Phoenix. Who you
that-
got?
I got Phoenix as well, man.
To
I
win.
think- yeah, I'm a CP3. That's the god right there. So
If you don't get hurt.
if you don't get hurt, I think he already got hurt now. Maybe it's out the way.
In the playoffs, he always gets
No,
hurt. He always like
no.
stubs his toe or jams his
Something.
knee.
breaks a
Chris
nail.
Paul pulls IT band because he
Yeah.
didn't stretch before a game. You're like, what?
Well,
It always
barring
happens.
injury, I'm going with Phoenix.
Phoenix, I got
Yeah.
Phoenix too.
I got Phoenix, man. Who you got?
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I'll probably go with the Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Repeat?
Repeat.
Yeah, might
Mm.
as
I don't
well.
think they're gonna repeat.
I like to
this
keep
year.
it in the East. You know, I'm an East type of guy, but
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this a little earlier. Super teams. Is this the death of super teams?
I think so.
You know, the Lakers, they were finished 16 games under 500. It was terrible.
Yeah.
They lost to the Pelicans and
I mean-
Spurs and a lot of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
terrible teams. That was a super team. You know, it's funny, you know, when the Lakers guys were saying, okay, when they got Westbrook, they're like, yo, we're winning the chip. DMs were flooded. Yo, LA's gonna win. And then when midway through the year, oh, why are you calling us a super team, man? We're not a super team. Westbrook, don't change it up now.
What do you guys think happened with Westbrook this year?
I just think that he's a point guard that can't shoot.
Nah, bro.
but
This
hold on, but
this
hold on.
was different than can't
But,
shoot.
but hold on, but
Yeah.
let me
No, no,
let
this
me
is-
tell you, let me
Wait,
finish.
This is a man that's averaged a triple-double.
I know, but let me
Right.
finish and I'm gonna tell you why. He's a guard that can't shoot, right? And he's a guard that has the ball in his hands a lot of the time. And now he has to share that duty. And yo, Bron has the ball in his hands. So now you're missing shots, and it became mental, I think, with him. I don't think he's bad as what he played this year. And at the end of the day, he still averaged 18, 7, and 7.
Right.
He still gave you 18, 7, and 7. Bron led the team in scoring, and he led in every other category. You know what I mean? So it
Good
wasn't as
point.
bad as what,
Good point.
if you look at it. But he just didn't have the ball. He had the ball in his hands all the time. Even when he played with KD, the ball was in his hands.
Mhm. There was
And now you have to share with Bron because Bron has the ball in his hands, and he makes most of the decisions because that's what he does, right?
So, yes, but Russ played with James in Houston, who always has the ball in his hands as well.
But do you
But
think
hold on,
Houston
wait.
was a great year for him?
No, I don't know who Russell Westbrook has been over the last 3 or 4 years.
Mm.
In the sense, he doesn't have that fire. The fire's gone.
But I think he had that fire in Washington because
Nah.
look what he did with
He was
that
in
Washington.
Oh my
He
God.
played
Yeah,
for the Wizards,
he- just
averaged a
last
triple-double.
last year.
Just last year.
Right.
And look what he did in Washington.
He did. I guess when you play basketball every day, right? There's certain things that aren't supposed to happen.
Right.
And how many times did that happen this year? There's certain things
Side
that
of the backboard
aren't. Yo,
shots.
Yo.
like
Real
pull
talk.
up
Yeah.
off the backboard and only backboard.
Yes. Yes.
But bro, it happens so much.
Listen.
And maybe social media amplified it because the
Yeah.
algorithms got it and showed
Yep.
it to me a lot. But I was like, yo,
His confidence was
you
shot,
see him.
man.
You see him in
His
warm-ups
confidence is shot.
throwing the ball off the glass, but he threw
Confidence
it over
is
the
shot,
net.
man.
He threw the ball over the net
The confidence was shot
during
man.
warm-ups.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, but to answer your question, like KD said it. You know what I mean? That Laker environment's just toxic. You know what I mean?
But what
And
about
just
what
even
about the
talking
other
about
super
KD,
teams?
Yeah, injuries plays a huge role. You know what I mean? With super teams, there's so much mileage on all these superstars. You know, you never know. Maybe that year when they have to slow down and adjust their role, that's when the injuries occur. Maybe they have to go full speed all the time, being the number one option to stay healthy. When they have to slow down and adjust, maybe the science of the body says, nope, hold this, pull something, break something, you're out. And then it just kills the chemistry. And then you look at the Nets, they were seventh. They're seventh right now.
They're
At
seventh
one point,
right
they
now.
were 11th in the East.
Yeah.
Lakers, you already know what happened to the Lakers. What other super teams are out there right now? I think we're pivoting. I like to use the word pivot a lot in this episode, but I feel like we're pivoting back into like team play, coaching,
With one superstar or just no
just
superstar?
not even. It's just a bunch of players, man. All-star type players.
I don't think that'll ever happen. bro.
superstar type players.
I don't think we'll ever move in that direction where we have no superstars and win a championship.
How many superstars are in the NBA right now under the age of 30?
I don't know.
I'm just saying that's a good question to ask. Like the main superstars, the LeBrons, the Carmelos,
Those guys
the
are on the
ADs,
down.
everybody they're phasing out slowly.
Yeah,
KD,
but like you said, Anthony Edwards, he's going to be a superstar.
he's all right.
Melo Ball is going to be a superstar.
All right. We'll
And
see,
tho-
like,
and-
because
and those guys are going
it's
to.
gonna take time. Though.
John
we'll see.
Morant is going to be. He's already a superstar.
We will see.
Second in the West.
We
Like,
will
I don't
see.
think you're going to be able to win without not having no superstars. I just don't think
we
that'll happen.
can't. We can't. But remember, Memphis.
I've
is
only seen
number
it
two.
once. I've only seen it once.
To me,
I've
Memphis
seen
is
it
only
once.
number two because
Regardless
Kawhi.
how
I'm just saying
regardless how they
Kawhi
got
and Paul
here.
George injured,
Superstars.
right? But they get injured a lot. So
we've seen a team of the Clippers have 2 superstars. Both didn't play. They lost to the Pelicans,
Right.
and they have a good team with a great coach.
Right.
Superstars are going to win in the NBA.
We'll see if they don't get injured.
You know, oh, yeah, there you go. Don't get injured.
The business
Right.
model asks for it.
So one that sells the jerseys have to win. Have to
Right.
play.
I hear you.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the
I
celebration?
thought it was
too
dope,
much?
man. I thought it was super dope. I thought, when was the last time Minnesota actually won any form of series?
I can't remember. Maybe
Right, probably like
KG in
during
those
KD's
years?
time.
KG.
And to give the city that, you know what I mean? Dealing with the George Floyd incident, you know what I mean? Like, give the city that at least.
But do you think it was more? I think it was more because he got traded from Clippers.
And give Pat Pev that, man. How much time?
I'm
like,
not mad
look
at
what-
it.
look
Celebrate
Russ-
what you want, man.
Russ, remember when
as long as it's not a losing end, I'm okay with it.
remember
how you
when
celebrate,
Russ
man.
said like, "Oh, Pat Bev fooled everybody."
Yeah.
Remember, and that kind of shot his character. Shot like teams were looking at him different to a certain degree. That's what he was saying. You know what I mean? So I thought that was just a basketball team celebrating their journey. And shout out Coach Finch. You know, a Raptor product. You know, you got
Coach
Jammer.
who?
Coach Finch, the Minnesota coach came from the Raptors, bro.
Okay. Oh,
You know,
when you
I'm-
said Coach Finch, I'm like, I got
See,
caught.
you're,
Sorry.
are you just
And
traumatized?
was that
He's
too
just
much?
traumatized
Was
right now.
that-
Finch
was that
has
too
him
much?
I
right
heard
now.
Finch. I
You
heard
heard that,
Coach
right?
Finch.
I
heard
couldn't.
Coach
Oh,
Finch.
is it Fitch? Is it Fitch or
You
Finch?
see what I'm saying? I'm not by myself.
All right, my bad. My bad if I butchered your name.
Are you
too.
traumatized?
You know Finch all day, man.
Yo, was that
Finch
too
all
much?
day. Finch all day over
Was
here,
that
baby.
celebration too much for you? Did you see it?
Honestly, I did. Pat Bev crying and like that's what sports is about.
He got fined $30K.
That's what
you
sports
know,
is about.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I enjoyed it. I think
You
Thank
celebrate
you.
on the
Seeing that-
winning end. I'm okay with that.
Right.
we watch 82 games a year. Then we play another 30 in playoffs.
Right.
One time they get excited to win. Normally, when they win, what happens?
Yup.
Yo, yeah, I'm gonna text you after we gonna meet up at EFS or Lost and Found after. And then they go to their locker room. Yeah, talk to media, and then they leave.
Right.
But they stayed and they cheered with you and they roared and threw my jersey.
Yeah.
Like
That's what
I'm not
sports
mad
is
at
all
it.
about,
I'm not
man.
mad
It's
at
mad
what
at
it's
that
all
all.
about.
so
Not
I
at
mean,
all.
it's a little different because they think of Pat as like black Air Force Ones and
Right.
Tim's this tough guy and then he's crying. You're
Right.
like, yo,
He
bro,
was
what?
crying. He was
why you-
crying.
But
So
mom,
much
man,
emotion.
So much
Yeah,
emotion. So
yeah.
happy, man. I was just man.
I'm not mad at it
Not
at all.
mad at all, man. Not
No.
mad at all.
Lakers interested in Nick Nurse.
You know what?
I've
Lakers-
been seeing this, float around. He's a clutch client.
Nurse is the Clutch client?
He's a clutch client. I didn't know that.
So
he's a
that means
Clutch
OG and Nick Nurse are both under Clutch? Wow.
Both on the clutch.
Wow.
So this is where the noise has been coming from.
Okay.
Because Nick Nurse would he be a fool to take that job?
Yes.
Why?
You'd be a fool to take it?
I
Why?
think
Or
so.
you'd be a fool not to take it? To take it. he would be
Yeah,
a
I
fool.
say fool to take it. But they
Why?
already have the nice infrastructure here.
Duh.
He doesn't have, well, maybe you have a little more insight.
No.
No, let you go. I want
All right.
keep going.
I think that what he has with the Raptors right now, all you have to do is just coach. Do what you're good at. You don't have to worry about player personnel because Masai and Webster, he's gonna give you the players you want,
right.
right? To fit what you're trying to build system-wise. For the Raptors, like everybody right now is talking about Nick Nurse versus Doc Rivers, and we got the advantage. Because Nick Nurse will just coach circles around Doc Rivers.
I agree.
Right? And secondly, I just feel like the Lakers are that, back in high school, that one shorty that was just the girl. You know what I mean? 4 years, 5 years later, because she was the girl, she got breeded up real quick. You know what I mean? And now she's like bust down. She don't even look good.
Yo,
Now she wants you.
Rose,
That
who
sounds
did
like trauma, bro.
Now she wants to talk to you. Now she wants to talk to you. Get
Yo.
out of here. Get
But
out of here,
you gotta
Lakers,
build your
man.
street cred. You ain't have it.
Nah, man. Nah, baby. You missed the boat, girl. You
Oh
had
my
your chance.
God.
You had your chance, man.
Okay.
Now that you're run down, you want to
All
holler
right.
at me?
All
No.
Who is it? Would he be stupid to take that job or?
Honestly, I'm gonna look at it at both sides of the coin. From the game of basketball perspective, I see where Woods is coming from, because Bobby and Masai and the organization's really gone behind him.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Like, Toronto for a long time, drafting players, there's always been question marks. Like, why do we pick him? Why did we pick him? They don't fit. In the last couple of years, although there's still that feeling, there's always that, oh, these guys know what they're doing. It's like, oh yeah, oh no, this made sense. Like, and I think it started when we traded Rudy Gay. We thought we were getting worse, and we actually got better because we looked at the team culture from a different angle. So for one, I could see why he would stay. Because it's kind of hard for me to say either or. But the other side, but like, bro, that's LA. I'm Nick Nurse. That's LA, right? You see Nick Nurse, he's got his little Nick Nurse brand. You see?
That'll blow
Yes.
up. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Be more than a coach,
right.
right? Maybe
Right.
Nick Nurse wants to get into TV. That's not really going to happen.
He
in
does that
Toronto.
thing with the guitar. Like, he's into the
He's doing
guitar
a little
playing
one
and
too.
stuff.
How else you going to grow that?
Have a show in the
I hear you.
Staples Center. Or
I hear you.
So,
No, I hear
The
you.
entrepreneur in me might
Yeah.
be like, that's
Yeah.
not a bad move.
Right.
Right?
I think
And if you win,
Ooh.
you've won at the highest
Ooh.
level.
Right.
I this is me personally. I think if he takes that job, he's gonna get fired in a year or two. The amount of pressure, because I just don't think that the roster that they have constructed right now is a championship team. They got to trade AD, they got to trade Westbrook, and they just got to build for the future. So if he can go there and just like, there's no pressure on me to win a championship,
Mhm.
and let me develop these young guys and kind of do what I did in Toronto, kind of thing, and Genie Bus and everybody be behind him, I think it can work. But if he's going there, LeBron James is there. I don't see him retiring anytime soon, maybe in the next 2-3 years, because he's waiting for Bronny. So every single year, what do they always say about LeBron teams? It's a
Right.
championship or bust.
Right.
With that pressure, I think it
It's
won't
too
work,
much,
and I
man.
think he'll get fired.
And to
Just
add
like
to
just
that,
like Vogel, because Vogel's not a
Right.
bad coach.
nah.
He's a
Not
pretty
at
good
all.
coach. He just won a championship 19-20 months ago,
Yeah.
and now he's fired. Why?
The pressure.
And I'm hearing
Yeah.
Phil Jackson and Nick Nurse. They're they're pretty cool too.
So I heard.
Right. So
Yeah.
I hope not. Nick Nurse, please just
Yeah.
stay in the
Just cool
six,
it.
man. Just ease yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Take us out, big dog.
Yeah, man. Well, Randy, man, thank you. You know what I mean?
Thanks, brother.
Is there anything you have, formulating other than, the app, you know what I mean? Training Ground, download it. You already know what it is.
Yeah, we've got some really cool things. We've been looking at the Web3 space and helping kids understand the power of NFTs. The
That's a
power.
big thing right now.
It's huge.
We just completed a 9-month project with RBC Bank, where we took 30 Black youth and took them through a 9-month personal and career development program. So it's a lot of the same stuff I'm talking about with athletes, like
Right.
we're already doing.
Right.
We've been able to help some of these kids get internships,
Good.
some job opportunities. But for every kid that went through the program, they received an education NFT. It's called the Rising Star NFT.
Mm.
And what that does is it safeguards their expertise, right? We're now moving into a world where everything is skill-based,
Right.
not so much knowledge, but skill-based. So the first time you unpack and put back an engine, you just learned a skill,
Let's go.
Right.
right? So we've taken those skills that those kids have learned for the last 9 months and put it on the blockchain. So now, in 3 years, 4 years, they go and apply for a job. They can say, oh, no, I learned digital marketing. I took a 1 month course here. I could do this job.
Yo.
So-
So before we sign out, how do kids register for these programs?
Yeah, man. Look, honestly, this is why I was late today. We're building up wait lists and things, and we'll be
Good.
getting out questionnaires out
Yeah,
there so
man.
people could sign up, because the one thing about these spaces is knowledge and time. Right?
Mhm.
The more knowledge, the more time you have, the better. So we want to make sure we craft a program that you could learn in a month on your own time. Right?
Nice.
Right? Give people autonomy. And I think autonomy is a really, really important word to give people self-governance, right? COVID's kind of forced us all to create
Yeah.
our own spaces,
Right.
right? Create our own bubbles where we can be and grow. And I think people are struggling with that right now. And I think I want to find ways to help. So I think, being on today's show and exchanging with you guys was great. I'm really excited to hear more. I think what you guys are doing is great. Like I was telling you guys, the voice that you guys bring to sports, to culture, to our community is a voice of reason, right? It's a voice of honesty.
Yep.
It's a voice of being authentic. And in this day and age, those are the three things that are going to be more important than anything. It's not going to really matter about your followers in a couple of years.
Right.
My blue check mark on Instagram is not going to matter in a couple of years. Why? Because Web3 is going to come and say, well, we're now verifying how dope you actually are based on what you do in this space.
Web3 message.
So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm continuously learning, and as I learn, and once I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna throw it into training ground and make sure
Oh,
people
yo.
have access to it.
I definitely
Facts,
learned. I think we all
facts.
learned a lot.
Absolutely.
The track Mula First trending. It's out now. Just do a shout at my man AB, but track goes hard nonetheless.
Where can
Yeah.
they find you?
Where can they find you? Definitely.
Instagram.
Hip hop hoops. Oh, me. Sorry.
where can
You can find him at Hip Hop Hoops for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Just Rany Rozaay. Rozaay. On Instagram, trainingground.app, or Athlete Tech Group.
Okay.
Are 3 different spaces. All of those are also websites as well. So I'm around. Just hey, as long as it's in my calendar, it'll happen.
There you
right?
go.
So reach out. I've never turned mentorship away from anyone. I've always believed in amplifying people's potential by sharing experience, right?
Facts.
I say, hey, you could possibly do it this way. It's now going to open up your mind and give you a new perspective to look at things. And I'll say this is super important for our community because we're very stagnant people.
Yo,
We get comfortable.
get comfortable real
Mhm.
quick, man.
We get comfortable very quickly.
Eating too much fish and bun and cheese, man. Can't help it.
And there's nothing wrong with those things in moderation. But we need to move into a space where we leverage diversity of thought.
Mm.
You need to get new perspectives. And your perspective can't be in your phone, right?
Wow.
Deep. Well, yo, thank you once again. This is where hip hop meets hoops. You can follow us on social media platforms such as IG. Don't forget to subscribe. I think we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, man.
Yes.
Help us get to 1,000.
Help us
On
get there, man.
YouTube. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're working, man. We're hip hop meets hoops, man.
Rany
Here we go.
Rozaay.
Rany
Everybody,
Rozaay,
let's
man.
go.
Don't forget to download the app, man. Let's do it.
In the trap OG, serving out what? Think about it day to day, day and night. Last night I had a trip, and it felt so right.
There's so many gems in there, man.
So many.